The city of angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 314 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. That's right, the Circus is in town. Messi inbound, whether he plays or not, how many minutes plays, it doesn't freaking matter. We're playing Inter Miami. We have a chance to really hurt their chances to make the playoffs, even though they're already in a terrible spot. We get a chance to make the Messi fans cry if we do our jobs and finally be that team that beats Inter Miami. So it's a good chance to do that. Is it a challenge? Heck yeah, it's a challenge. It's gonna be chaos, right? And packed. And there's standing room tickets sold. I think the average ticket, I think the lowest price right now is $750 for a ticket. It's madness. It's utter madness. Bam's like, dude, I'd sell that, right? I mean, it's madness. So that's going on. Of course, we're in a weird situation as a club, as we're winning games, losing games randomly. Not quite at it yet with the new roster, trying to figure each other out. But you see the talent, and that's where we're at. Of course, coming off a loss to Charlotte wasn't so great to watch or see. We kind of threw that one out, and now I get a chance to bounce back at home. It's what we do best. So that's the situation at hand. Of course, to cover everything that's going on, even talk about magic numbers a little bit, we've got Bam and we've got Tony on tonight. The crew missing Araceli. Hopefully we get her back for the next episode. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing quite well. Excited with some of the news that LSU dropped early today. Disappointed with something that happened with that, but I'm in the talks with other people back of house to try and get that rectified.
There we go. You might as well throw it out there now, unless we want to save it for community, right?
We'll save it for community.
We'll save it for community. There we go. So there is a lot.
Throw it out,
up, Tony.
Go for it. Throw it out for Bam. It's really exciting.
Bam, I mean, let's be honest. Bam has been fighting for this since 10 weeks before opening day, season 1. Like, I mean, it was like that. He's been fighting for this ever since I think the crest was revealed. Tell him what's up, Bam.
Well, LFC finally announced that they got 5 tiers of memberships now that you can have as LFC members. So you've got the season membership, which my 2 fine co-hosts are part of. You've got the local membership, which is $200. You get a newsletter, special offers, virtual meet and greet with players, watch remotely with different camera angles, LFC games, discounts at stores, annual membership gift, priority to new release merch, access to cheap tickets where you do get to a game and all that kind of stuff. And with all that as well, they've done for $99, which suits me perfectly, is a global membership. So I can actually become a paying member of LAFC at the moment.
It's interesting because it's not like, okay, so it's a membership, right? Not shares or anything like that. With MLS, we don't do these sorts of things, but at least it's something where you're connected to the brand, right? You're connected to the club. You're part of the community, and you get access that, let's be honest, you wouldn't get otherwise.
Exactly.
Really,
even with like access I get with being on the podcast, this is some bonus one. So with the global membership, which I'll be part of, you get to the e-newsletter, sweepstakes, and special offers. Virtual meet and greet with LFC players and coaches. So I might be able to have a quick word with Dolo, say, hey, what's up? You never know. Get to watch LFC games remotely with camera angles exclusive to LFC Gold members. So what that means, I don't know too much about, but they probably have some cameras in there. So it'll be good. They might have a camera just above the 3052. So it feels like I'm a part of that a lot more. Which would be perfect. Live access to post-match play interviews. So that's something really good there.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Priority access to new release merchandise. So when merch drops, I get some access so I can have a chance of getting some instead of having to get Tony to line up for me for multiple hours. 5% discount at the team store. Annual gift membership. I get access to pre-sale BMO Stadium concerts and all that. So when I do come over, there's a concert going on, I can get access to that. LSE Youth Clinics priority entry. So if I have a child and want to send them over for a youth clinic, I can get into that. Exclusive preseason experience for members, and preferred pricing on regular season ticket and exclusive access to playoff tickets.
So if you're
That
traveling,
there, I like. I like that too. Like, as much as I've helped relied on Joseph to get me a ticket into games and all that kind of stuff, if there's a game where I want to experience, say, a different part of the stadium, I can get access to not exorbitant price tickets, which is a wonderful thing, because not many people have a Joseph
or a Tony, or the beautiful 3252.
exactly.
And as much as we can do, sometimes it's very limited, especially when it comes to playoffs, rivalry matches, this week's madness. Everybody's your friend this week. I think it's a big joke running around. All of a sudden, everybody wants to talk. You're like, there's not emails in direct. No, it's I'm calling you. Fun times. Everybody knows everybody, right? Everybody's a big family in the lead up to this match, and that's freaking hilarious. But as Bam says, it's really good to have this access to see it. There's some perks on there that season ticket holders haven't seen yet, and now looks like we're going to get an improved product as well, thanks to all of the other tiers, because I guess everything that's in the lower tiers goes to the season ticket holders. So there's more stuff that we're going to get a hold of, which is nice.
The only difference between a local member, so if you can't afford a season ticket, compared to a season ticket member, is a season ticket member gets one subscription to MLS Season Pass.
Yeah,
everything below the season ticket doesn't get that, but the $200 local membership gets everything else that the season member gets. So that's a couple of other things that they get is free/discount tickets to LFC 2 matches, exclusive watch parties for membership, exclusive networking happy hour event for members. So stuff like that, which is a good thing to do.
Gift as well.
You get the gift as well. LSU Youth Camp discount and priority entry. So, for season ticket holders and local members, you get the discount, where international, we don't get discount, but we do get priority entry.
It's good. It's different. It's another revenue source for the club. At the same time, it allows a huge amount of LAFC fans to actually feel connected to a club where it's very hard to get a season ticket, right? It's been historically hard to get a season ticket. It's hard to get access. You feel that there's kind of a wall for a lot of people, and this is their good chance to no longer have that barrier, right? And have a little bit of a connection beyond just watching the games on TV or getting into the random game. It's good. It's a special thing. It's progress for the club. This is evolution for them.
Exactly.
And I'm good with it. I'm sure you guys are as well.
So am I. And also at the moment, if you do sign up now for the membership, so the local membership and all that kind of stuff, you do go in the draw for a chance to win tickets and a VIP experience to the game this weekend.
That's pretty wild, because the hottest ticket in league history, possibly. It might be that, because I've never seen any other game in this league fetch $750 for a cheap seat.
Most expensive ticket.
It has to be. This is the biggest game in the history of the league. It's funny how LAFC gets stuck into those, but here we are. I guess the millions and millions of LAFC fans are one of the reasons for that, and of course Messi fans from all over the world like to come to LA. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, the rumors about certain celebrities that I've seen has been pretty wild. I'm not going to name names, but it's been a little bit of a silly situation. I'll say that.
Yeah. So for everyone that wants to sign up for it, just jump online to www.gold.lafc.com, and that's where all the information is.
And if you're a season ticket holder, don't do this because you already have it. Right? Like, don't double up, people. You got it already. Unless I did see that, like, say if you want your kids to get the perks that you get, you know how you're always like, man, I wish I would have split my ticket account, because I get one gift for per ticket or for per account. Now it's per individual. So if you've got kids that you take to the games and you want to get the gift for them too, this is your way in.
You got the youth memberships for $50, $49, and that gets you the annual membership gift, youth clinics priority access, and all that. So
yeah,
all the information is on there. So go check it out.
So it's a good, again, it's progress. It's something that people have been asking for years, right, Bam? And now they're getting what they've asked for. Cool. Let's hope it works out. Let's hope the follow through occurs and everybody gets what they need. That would be great. Now let's go to the football. That's why we're here, right? I don't want to talk about memberships. This isn't KCET. We're not doing a pledge drive here. We're here to talk about football. So let's do it. Circus is in town. It's football. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the recap with Charlotte. Oh, that was not pretty. There were moments, right? We thought we were going to pull this game out. It was looking rather interesting, and then we just got kicked right in it again. So let's break down the lineups. Of course, every team in the league is doing the same thing: clog your midfield. LAFC is coming to town. So Charlotte came out with a 4-1-4-1. Kleina was in goal with Privet and Malanda in the back. Westwood was their central defensive mid. Lindsay and Byrne were your outside backs. Bronco and Jones were your playmaking midfielders with Bender and Jangere. I'll go for that. Jangere as your left outside mid. Swiderski, of course, was the target man who proved to be one heck of an opponent for this match. Credit to him in this pretty impressive display from him. What did we throw out there? Well, only pretty much our best outside of Palacios. We had McCarthy in goal. Long. Maldonado, after a long time out in the wilderness, was back into the lineup. Palencia on the right. Hollingshead in his old position on the left. Tillman, Sanchez, and Bogus as your midfielders with Vela, Gonzalez, and Boanga. Yep, Gonzalez got the start again as he works his way into the lineup and figures out what the heck he's doing with this club. There you go. So that is it. So the big change, of course, was Maldonado because, again, playing on turf, there's no way you're going to risk Chiellini or anyone that has even any minor knock, question of a knock. They're not going in except Vela because Vela writes his own rules. That's how we do things here. Interesting lineup. I think it was a proper lineup for the situation we're in. Brandon, you're look at it. What did you think about the lineup selection?
For me, I think it was a smart lineup that we went for. With Gonzalez giving him a fair decent run of time and all that kind of stuff. Again, McCarthy in goal, we knew that was going to happen. We might have thought maybe might have changed up a little bit. The back line without Chiellini was the strongest back line we could come with. And for me, it was the lineup that we were expecting.
Yeah, and I think a big one to me that was a learning experience from when we blew it in Leagues Cup was getting Hollingshead back to his natural role on the left rather than forcing Palencia into a position he's not that familiar with. So I guess this is progression. This is the right thing is you make that shift happen, right? Where they're supposed to play is where they're supposed to play. Going into the game itself, though, was a little surprising, I think, for many to see how well Charlotte approached this match, how they didn't hide, right? They didn't drop into a shell and wait. They went at us. They are playing at home. They have something to play for. They've got something to prove, and they didn't hold back. I'll throw it right over to you, Tony. Let's get into it. Let's get into the highlights for this thing.
So there's a couple yellow cards, quick and early, 8 minutes. Charlotte with one. 13th minute, another one for Charlotte, and in the 19th minute, of course, Timothy Tillman with a bad foul gets yellow. So again, they didn't shy from us. They attacked us, and it paid off in the 29th minute by Ashley Westwood, right-footed shot from the center of the box to the top right corner and puts them up pretty much 1-0 on the 29th minute, and it's about 6 more minutes of extra time, and we could not really finish a goal, it seemed like.
No.
Anytime we got close. And again, coming back to the same situation that I've been saying is finishing midfield is not there.
So the complaint running into this game, of course, was about the turf, and I think it's kind of a lame excuse at this point because we just don't play on turf. But I think it's at this point a little bit psychological. It was tough to see. Some of the guys were laboring out there, not looking quite the part. If you look at that first goal in the 29th minute, tracking back was a little bit goofball. I mean, Sanchez was completely shifted over pretty far to the right. Bogus and Tillman, mostly Tillman, they didn't really fade where they needed to, and they got caught, and it was a perfect play to pull us out of position, to take it wide, bring it back in. The runs were proper. Again, what Swiderski was doing off the ball in this game, the runs he was making really did tear us up a bit. He did read it well, go where they're not, and so the first goal to me was a fantastic counterattack from them. I know we want to take shots at our guys, but I got to be honest, like, if you're going to beat us in transition, if you're going to make the right runs, they could not do anything better than what they did to beat us on this play. Brendan, you're nodding your head. I know we want to go after Tillman or go after Sanchez for shifting too far. Let's be honest, they had 5 in the midfield. They knew how to collapse in, and they caught us.
Exactly. Like, watching it over and over again, you sit there and go, what they did well was CAD runs off the play to pull players certain positions to leave him wide open, and it was a brilliantly done play. It was a great counter. I can't argue the fact that against any other team, that was a beautiful play.
I don't think there's many teams in the league that would stop that, really. If you made that type of a run and that type of a sell on a play, 9 out of 10, you're going to get a shot off. Like, it's just well executed. Timing was good. Yeah, I know it looked bad for us, but you can't be everywhere all the time, especially since it was one where it was a counter. So this is what happens. You take a gamble, you lose sometimes. This was one of those cases. Now, as the game progressed in that first half, I think we can all say that we did have our chances. It was there. Yes, they had us on possession, but we were good on our counters. We just didn't get that last little bit. And it's frustrating because you see it there. It felt like we were in it, like it was going to happen, but it just didn't. It didn't pay off in the first half. Tony, your thoughts on the first half?
It was just a typical what you expect. Us playing on turf, it's kind of our kryptonite, if you haven't noticed. Not just here, up north when you go in across the border, Portland. Any turf field, we usually have problems with it because we're not used to it. We play on grass field, so we're used to that bounce, that slide, that roll. While Charlotte, of course, home field advantage. This is why home field advantage is very important in playoffs, in home games, anything. They know how the ball will bounce, how it moves, and like what they can expect.
You would think after all this time with the veteran presence that we do have, that adjustments would be made and maybe a little bit of a different situation. But when the conversations ahead of the game are already about, man, this shouldn't be in the league, we shouldn't be dealing with this. Yeah, it kind of puts you in a place, doesn't it? Not saying the guys didn't put the effort. They did put the effort, but psychologically, to already have that in your mindset, like we shouldn't even be here kind of attitude. The comments, I just don't think it's a good entry into a match. And it showed. Can't help it, but it showed. So we go into it. We move forward, go into the second half. To me, really didn't see great changes until the changes occurred, right, Tony? I mean, go for it, man.
In the 63rd minute, we went for 3 substitutions. Timothy Tillman, Sanchez, and Bella off. In goes Christian Oliveira, Callan Acosta, and Fufu in for each other. And you saw the impact that made, because not even 4 minutes later, goal by Mario Gonzalez, right-footed shot from the center of the box to the center of the goal, assisted by Dennis Buwanga on a fast break. So you saw that quick change, and we got that goal and put it back to 1-1. And we were doing pretty well up until then, and then Charlotte decided to make their own substitutions in the 72nd and 73rd minute, which allowed them in 2 minutes later to score the game-winning goal, unfortunately, from Scott Arfield, right-footed shot from the center of the box to the bottom right corner. And pretty much that's all she wrote after that, because, well, of course, not gonna lie, there was a couple opportunities by Buwanga to finish and tie the game up, but more power than finesse. And of course, his heart was in the game, but at the end of the day, it came back to not taking advantage of opportunities when they should presented themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we had a period there, especially after scoring the first goal, where I'd say 2 or 3 golden opportunities were kind of squandered, where counters didn't quite go the way they should have. Touches weren't good enough. Things were a bit too telegraphed where we could have broken them. We were catching them. They were out of position. We weren't getting the job in, and we missed opportunities. We could have put this game away. It felt like we were going to put this game away. And then the 75th minute, we got caught pretty much overselling it, right? Trying to get that goal. And it cost us, which is kind of one of those things you just don't want to catch yourself doing on the road, right? You kind of lost perspective about where you're at and what you're doing, I guess. But we felt it, right? It looked like we were going to get that goal, and they caught us. That's pretty much what happened. Bam, your thoughts on their counter, of course, and your impressions before that even went down.
Getting the goal did bring us a lot of confidence going in after that. For me, giving him time to giving the Charlotte player time to shoot and having McCarthy just parry it away. He parried it to the wrong part of the field. Plain and simple. Who ended up scoring for them? It was Arfield.
It was Arfield. Yeah.
Arfield was ready to poach, and that's all it was. He was there ready to poach for that position, and we just were too flat-footed at the stage, and not much we could have done.
Well, it's now 2 games where we've seen the same situation where a distance shot comes in and they crash the net to get the finish. The book might be out here, right, about rebounds and situations and how a goalkeeper distributes the ball on a save. Sounds weird, but if you've played it for long enough, you know that there are certain ways to parry a ball, certain ways you don't want to parry a ball. For him, it's usually directly to the side, and pretty far out when he does. Not too hard, just about 7 yards at most. That seems to be what happens on diving saves with McCarthy, and so they took advantage of it. If that's the read you get, and you see, well, this is a chance we might get to a ball before a defender, then you're going to do it. I mean, that's the sport. That's how this game's played. So we got caught again, just like we did in the Leagues Cup, where they weren't able to collapse in time to get to it. They read it. They saw the play and it happened. It hurts, it stinks, but you got to learn from these things. I think that's all you can say, right? You got to find a way. And I can guarantee you, when we play Miami this weekend, expect Messi to be hitting those from everywhere if he's in the lineup. Because if the long shot and crash the net is the way to beat us, as well as the overload of the midfield to basically make Sanchez run in circles, then you're gonna do it. You're gonna try that. If the plan works for other teams, you're gonna harp on it until we figure out how to combat that and find a way to beat teams that oversell these points. So it's now on us, right, to figure out another way. Your thoughts, impressions, Tony, on the match overall?
Overall, it was kind of what I expected. I wanted just a point out of the game. Again, I think most of us, and I don't say the team was, but I know most of us were already looking towards Sunday and what that was going to be. But it was a good performance overall for what we saw from everybody. Again, the lack of finishing is going to kill us, and we need to figure that out again, and mesh well. Again, it's still a couple. I think we have one more month left until season's over, which we're going to schedule wise, and we got to figure this out. Especially Miami's going to be a good test to see how well we do. Again, with Messi coming again, it's a good opportunity to kind of check where your skill at, where your defensive presence is, and everything like that. Because again, defense wins championships. We saw that. Again, offenses do help out, of course, with the goals needed. But at the end of the day, once you have that lead, you need to be able to shut down players, shut down opponents, and that's what we need to do moving forward.
And for us, I mean, let's be honest, our wins and losses are usually decided in the midfield battles. Who can win the game in transition? Who can boss the tempo of the midfield? The games we lose are the games where we get overloaded. Tillman doesn't have his day. Sanchez doesn't have his day. whoever the player next to him, whether it's Bogo, Acosta, if we get overwhelmed in the midfield and we're not covering plays in the top of the box, right, tracking back, then this is when we get into trouble. We're going to get into it with Miami and see how they set that up and who Sanchez is going to be up against. It's going to be not an easy day for him. But the midfield needs to get better with where they're at. And if it's fatigue, then it's fatigue, right? Then you know what has to happen. But we're here, and and we did see when midfield did get replaced in this game. Let's be dead honest. When we saw Krostev get into the field and we saw, our new faces, we actually looked pretty good. It looked, there was an energy change. So you got to wonder where we're at now. How's it going to change in the future? But that's the battle. How do you deal with teams that are going to overload in midfield? Because if you have more bodies there, that means you have openings elsewhere. Where do you get it to there? So that's going to be our story for this game. Final thoughts, Spam, before we move into oh man, the community reaction.
Final thoughts. Look, as we've all said, we're more looking forward to this game this weekend. Should we have came up with a point? Yes. Did we know? Are we disappointed? Of course we are. And going from the fans, they're disappointed as well because no one gave us their top 3 on social media. So people weren't happy with that result, and I can understand why. But these are the results that we look at who can benefit the most. And for me, it was like I would have preferred us to play a few more of the newer players, get them some game time out there and go from there.
And the other tough thing is we were chasing St. Louis 4 points back. If you settle for a point, now you're only 1 match away. Not 2 matches on the schedule, 1 match away, and they faltered on the day. So you could have done that. Now, they've got another win right under their belt yesterday. They've pulled farther away from us now. I know it's an extra game, but still, they did what they had to do. Now we're going into the weekend, and we got to get our job done. You have to win. If you're going to keep pace, you have to win. So you can't squander even a single point at this point. As we said, magic number time, it's real. It's real. You can't mess with it. All right, let's get to you guys. There's about 10 comments I see from everybody, so let's do this. Go all the way to the top here. I see Burke was the first into the mix. Burke says, hey, fam. There he is. He says he's so tired of Messi puns. Well, you came to the wrong place. I kid. We're not getting too crazy outside of like talking about show titles and calling it Inter Messi. Because let's be honest, nobody cares about them without him. Let's be real. For some of us that went to that stadium, it was dead empty. Classic Fort Lauderdale dead. Okay. That's not it anymore. Why? One guy. So we know. Soccer USA is on. It says, what it do? Jason Ariano says, so this Messi guy, do you have any information on him? Well, he's a little short. You can't defend him one-on-one. Possibly the best player in the world. And everyone wants to see him and spend crazy money. So there's your Messi review. Oh, yeah, and he hasn't lost any games yet since coming to the States. That too. Soccer USA says, looking forward to Sunday's game. What is a reasonable strategy guarding Messi? I'm happy you said this because I almost forgot to talk about this. I would have probably talked about it later. There was an article that I recently read. I was looking up Chiellini images with Messi because they're funny, right? Because he tends to beat him up a little bit. And there's a Chiellini article out there. Off the top of my head, just look it up. It'll pop up easy and he talks about defending Messi and what you have to do to defend Messi. Classic stuff that he said. It was the game where he was fighting with one of his own defenders at Juve for the jersey at the end of the game, which I thought was pretty funny. And he said, one, you can't defend him one-on-one. You can't do it. You have to have a contingency player on the play. So you have to double team him. Basically, one to intercept, one to contain, right? That is how you have to play him. So one guy's got to sell it in physical and the other's got to clean up the mess. That's how you do it. He also said if you anticipate the play, then you're already beat. So Chiellini's game plan, if there's one guy that can train our back line and how to do the job, you got the one because he has figured him out before. He has beaten him in the Champions League. They have shut him out in the past on his teams. He's done it. He knows what to do. Is it easy? Heck no, it's messy. But at least somebody's been there with some experience under their belt dealing with him. We have that guy. We're the only team in the league that has that guy. Pretty good to be there with it. Look it up. It's all over the place. It was pretty widely distributed as to how he handles Messi and how he does it. And basically admitted one-on-one you don't handle him. I mean, that was the first thing he threw out there. So it's going to have to be team defense. It's got to be smart. They can't oversell it. Maybe things might look a little different in how we do things, but it's going to be tough. If we get isolated, we're dead. Like everybody says when they play Messi, right? You're gone. So look it up. It's pretty funny the way he approached it, but classic Chiellini, right? Dead honest in his approach. So that's it. It's that. And to me, the bigger thing, if you really want to limit Messi, one, you do need to be physical with him. It worked for Nashville this week. If you watch the game against Nashville, they let him pick himself up off the ground several times. That's how they did it. They chose yellow cards at opportune times to try to contain him. Still almost scored, but you still have to make it hard on him. Also, his distributors, who gives him the ball, you got to be tight on those guys and limit their time on ball. That's how you do it, right? You got to mark. So it will be tough. Again, Sanchez is the story, I think, again in this game. If he can have a good one, he can match up with their interesting midfield, then we'll be okay at the end of the day. Do I expect shutouts? I'd be crazy to think that. No, this is going to be what we do. And do you think that defense can shut us out? Be dead honest. If we finish our chances, we'll be fine. But we will get chances. That's for sure. Soccer USA says, also, with Jordi Alba pushing so far up the left, do we stick with Palencia defensively or give Hollingshead the nod? Or potentially get one first 45, other second 45? If Palencia is available, okay, he is available. Honestly, it depends on availability with Palacios. If he's back, we're fine. We're fine. If he's not, then of course Hollingshead needs to go to his side and do what he's got to do. Jordi Alba is not a spring chicken, right? He's going to fatigue as well in this game because he had a midweek match. We didn't. First time in a long time we get to play a team with limited rest time and we have full rest and they're traveling. What? We have that advantage? Yeah, we have that advantage for once. So that might play into this. We shall see. I think, yeah, if Palacios can go, Palacios goes in and Hollingshead goes to the right. If he can't go, then Hollingshead will play in his familiar role for certain. Soccer USA also said, also, with so much attention on Messi and company, is this game Vela reminds us he's still king of LA? I mean, if I'm anybody at LAFC right now and you're seeing all this vibe going on while you're the defending champion, dude, you're defending your house, right? You've got a lot to play for here. And you'll be the first team that could potentially take them out and potentially cost them a chance at the playoffs. Yeah, you're going to do everything you can to do that. And Vela, let's be honest, when he's not on turf, sometimes he's good on turf too. He should be in good shape for this game. He should be well rested. The right guys are rested at this point. So I would expect them to put on, their own version of a clinic, right? At the end of it all. So, yeah, be ready for that. Soccer USA also says, are we going to take advantage of global views this Sunday and recruit Griezmann? So I'll just throw this. My greatest worry is that we're not going to show up. We don't have a good history of performing when the limelight is brightest. We don't. We tend to fade in the limelight. Even in the MLS Cup final when we won it, it wasn't our best game. There's a thing. We get big crowd games, wild ones. We don't have a great history with it. Bam, am I wrong in that? Or we've had a lot of those where we had a chance and then tripped again,
My worry is that we're going to go into this game like we go into a lot of Galaxy away games.
Yeah, exactly. That one. Or at the Rose Bowl. We trip up in big games. It's a history in this team. And it goes multiple managers, right? Both of them. When we get the big national TV big national TV games, there's moments. We have moments. Tony, jump in.
We're not on national TV. This
Well,
is
it's Apple. It's Apple now. I know.
it's Apple. Well, no, not even on that. So I was, as you know, Apple TV sometimes gives some of the broadcast rights to the FS1, yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera. This one is only with MLS season pass on Apple TV, while the primetime game and the one that's going to be free on FS1 is Philadelphia versus New York.
Boy, they dropped the ball, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess today would be the day for a lot of people to get subscriptions, and tomorrow in the lead up to this, and they're going to get a lot out of this one because everyone's going to want to see this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you don't get it live, you're going to get the highlights anyways, but there will be a lot of eyes on this thing. They'll find ways. Right, Bam? There's ways for the world to watch this without a subscription, right?
There is, but at the moment, with it being available globally with the subscription, take it.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I've been fighting for, and as I've said in the past, is I've said openly to the president of the LAFC, I used to illegally stream games because games weren't available for me to watch. Now it is available for me to watch. I'm full on board. Use it because you don't want to lose it.
And it's not even expensive, is it? It's not.
Like even just for a month, just for this game, or no, you have to, like, if you're in Australia, if your telephone's with Optus in Australia, you get it for free, season pass for free.
Or you have Apple products that you purchase, you get it for free, right? You find ways in, and then ultimately, this one subscription is cheaper than your random MMA fight, right? You go pay-per-view, that's more than what you pay. So if people want to see it, they're going to see it. I think it's going to be a massive audience no matter what. It's global now because of the subscription. There'll be a lot of eyes in this game, no matter what. There will be a lot of eyes in this game and a lot of press covering it. I can't wait to see all the extra tables, the standing room only seats. It's going to be insane. And honestly, I'm all for it. I am. As long as we're on the right side of the result, make it as big a circus as you want to make it. As long as we hold to our home, our people stay loyal and wear their colors properly, and the North End does its job, let the circus be the circus. Take it. It only helps the league. It only helps us. If we can show up on this, in this battle, be the first one to knock this guy, huge. And it builds momentum for the next rivalry match. So yeah, huge implications. That's for sure. Let's hope. Soccer USA says, I feel Bouanga trying hard to carry the team, but the quicker he learns to trust his teammates and let them cook, it will open up the game for him to score. So I've said this time and time again. They're adjusting. We know this, right? There's some new faces. They're not adjusting badly. Could it be better? Yes. But I will say this about Bouanga. His job is to score goals. That's what we pay him to do. That's what gets the highlights. He's in the race to be the leading scorer. If he's the man with the ball in the box, no matter what the angle, I really don't think the mindset is to pass, right? It's just not. He's the goal scorer, right? So I don't know if it's about trust or if it's about just simple instinct, right? I get it. I take it. That's what I do. We win. That's what he's been doing all year. Now, of course, he has another target, right? Pistolero, our Pistolero. He's got chances to give it to other people. He's been doing good with that at home, right? We've seen him distribute. He has. This game, he went for it. Didn't quite work out. But I can't fault an attacker for being an attacker. That's hard for me. Because if he finishes that, he's the hero, right? It's done. No conversation. It's out of the way. Didn't happen. Okay, Soccer USA said, should fans be expecting any chants or songs on Sunday? Quite possibly. Maybe. I'll leave it at that. Maybe. I do know that we're going to be on point though, so we'll put it there. Right, Tony? You're ready. You're rested.
Yeah, ready and rested, and gonna be ready for whatever comes in that day.
Exactly. I'll be ready. Ben will be ready from far, far away, but he'll be there in spirit. Yeah, it's on. If you're not ready for this one, you're never going to be ready. This is it. This is the show. This is what this is where we can really feature ourselves best. And you know what? I know that Miami supporters are going to be there deep as well. They have a lot coming out, so there will be an away contingent to deal with in this game. I believe they're doing like some party this weekend too. I'm not going to broadcast, but I know they're having an event. So with supporters of LAFC, because the ones coming out are pretty cool dudes. I'll say that. Yeah, so that is where we're at. Soccer USA, thank you for all the comments, man. You rock tonight. There will be another opportunity as well to get some more guys. So if you're on here, make it happen. Tell us what you want to know. Tell us what you want to hear. You got some reactions. We like those. We love those. You got hot takes, even better. We love to chew on that stuff. All right, let's go for it. Of course, this show wouldn't be complete without proper community news, and you know how Tony is. He's always got his ear on everything. Tony, time to shine, man. What's going on in the community?
So we'll go with, of course, Home for the Former Foster Youth. Do your part in preventing homelessness by helping us raise money to create a welcoming space for former foster youth moving into their first home. You can support by enabling them to transform empty walls, rooms into a fully furnished and functional place of joy. I'll put the link in our story later on today or tomorrow, or whenever you guys are listening to this, so you can keep donating. It might be taken down, but if you can still try to figure out another way to get donations to them. Of course, with another donation, the Mo Facio Futsal Court is still taking donations. All you have to do is go to lafc.com/MoFacio. And with that being said, there's also a very special raffle going on with that. So for every $1 you spend, you get a ticket, a digital ticket, we'll say, for raffle for the North End ticket for the Miami game. So for every $1, so pretty much if you spend $5, you get 5 tickets. It's time. Timing when they'll announce the raffle will be Saturday, or they'll be closed Saturday, September 2nd at 5 p.m. And the winner will be selected by a random and contacted via Instagram direct message by 7 p.m. Saturday. So you will know by then if you're going to the game or not, and being able to set up with that. There's a couple, of course, other ways to get it. I know WSS is doing a giveaway with 4 tickets, as well as LAFC is doing as well as a giveaway. And of course, there's a contest with that. If you sign up for what Bam was talking about, the international, local, and if you have a season ticket, you're already automatically entered into a raffle to win tickets to go see Inter Miami versus LAFC. With that being said, this is part of Club and Community News, and in general for the North End, do not wear a international Argentina jersey, any international jerseys, any Inter Miami jerseys. And then this is where I'm going to be very particular. All LAFC gear except for LAFC pink warm-ups, any LAFC gear from SGs that do have pink in them, because I know Black Army has a black and pink jersey. That is a no-no as well as no white and pink LAFC jersey that we did 2 years ago. So none of that. Black and gold away jerseys that are not pink at all. So if you do find someone, we will find you, give you a shirt to cover that up, because this is the North End. I know there's going to be people who are complaining, I paid so-and-so money for this ticket. Why do I have to listen to this? It's in the ticket. It says it on the ticket. Only LAFC gear is allowed throughout the whole North End. And honestly, I'll say this the best way. We are nicer than most supporter groups internationally. And I say that because we try to do that in Argentina, any other supporter group. I say Argentina because they're one of the most vicious of course, the Boca River Plate rivalry. But try to do that anywhere else in the world in a supporter section, and you may end up being bloodied. And I'm just saying that in the most nicest way. So please respect us, respect the crest, respect what we do every day, and do not wear anything pink, Inter, or Argentina related.
I will say this. I know that security. Oh, Bam, you go first. You go first. Fire away.
All I want to say is just wear black. It's that simple. Just wear black.
Simple.
If you don't have a black and gold LFC kit, you've got a black shirt somewhere. Just wear black. Just black it out. As much as like I am wearing an away kit for this game, just don't. Just leave it at home. Don't get dirty this weekend. Just wear black because it's going to get messy. It's going to get dirty. We're going to have some fun. Just wear black.
You said the word. I'm just going to say that. Blackout is in full effect, just like we treat a rivalry match. We don't want to see the green jerseys either. Like, for dramatic effect, black is the color. On Sunday, the good guys wear black. Simple. I'll have my black. My daughter, she always wears pink to the games. Not this time. She's going to black out as well. Out of respect for the North End, out of respect for your supporters, out of respect for the city, this is our color. We're black and gold, man. Like, why would you want to do any other thing? I don't get it.
As Joe's saying, he's making sure his daughter's not wearing pink. She's going to wear black. If you're picking up mates to bring them to the game, they're not wearing black, leave them there. Keep driving.
Right. And it's not our job to babysit you and give you black shirts when you arrive. That is not our job. It's not our job. It's not. We're not your outfitters, people. Seriously. And if you show up and you don't have the right colors, there's stands everywhere where you can buy it. There's dudes on the street selling stuff. Hey, there's all kinds of cool supporter merch. Guess what? That's going to be blacked out. They all need the money, right? We do TIFO work. We need the money. Support the local economy. Buy a shirt on the day if you need to, as long as it's black. That's all we got to do. And yeah, with the national shirts, I mean, let's be honest, guys. This is one of those times where you got to follow suit. And I was going to mention security, which I don't like talking about security because nobody wants to rely on security these days. Let's be honest. And we're supporters. It's just not something we naturally do. But in this case, I will say this for the randos. Security will be developed or designed a lot like our rivalry matches with gates, with all that stuff. It's going to be very, very, very restricted because there's standing room tickets. It's going to be nuts. But you will not be permitted in the North End. You will get blocked at the entryways if you don't have the proper colors. So it's going to go that far. So not only us trying to police things and be like, hey, they know too. Don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. Right? Don't have a meltdown. Just wear the colors and be done with it. It's your team, right? This is what we do. We wear black and gold. It's the simplest thing in the world. I think I've said enough in this, right, guys? Did I add any more?
I have some quick other information for you guys, and I just wanted to get the colors out of the way, and then now for the happy stuff, the fun stuff. If you can't make it to you're in San Diego, LAFC San Diego is holding a watch party. The tap room, as always. Go and join them. It's always a good time. And as well as if you are able to go to the game, there is a lot of things going on right now for LAFC. So the field guide, as they say, the match day guide on their Instagram, if you want to go check it out, is FanFest will be at Christmas Street Lane at 2:30. Fields LA will be open with AM Boy Burgers, Triple Bean Pizza, and Tacos Way. Pre-match from 3 to 7 p.m. Post-match will be open 90 minutes per post-gas whistle, so we'll see how that goes. because we haven't had a Fields post-match party in a while. And this is also very important. Gates will open at 4:30 p.m. and 50% off food and beverage for the first 60 minutes after gates open. So if you get in early, get your seat, you can get 50% off all concession stands, beer, alcohol, food, etc. And that is all.
That's like the earliest I've ever seen it open for a 7:30 game.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And that's
Why?
all.
I'll tell you why. Parking is limited. I'll say that again. Parking is limited, so you need to go early or you're going to be stuck outside. There's going to be an influx of people who do not have tickets, who think somehow, some way, magically, a ticket will open up for an affordable price, and they'll be standing around asking for tickets. Also, people trying to sell tickets. It's going to be chaos. And people just want to be in the vibe, right? Enjoying the tailgate, who aren't even going to the game, but it's going to be packed and crazy. Way more people than what's actually going to make it into that building. So yeah, this is how it's going to be. A different vibe. We just got to do what we got to do, right? Be smart, be early. Simple. And yeah, enjoy the stuff. And I also know the 3252 has a huge event going on as well when it comes to food. Contact your local supporter group because they are selling wristbands for this crazy food thing that they're setting up. And I think there's also like a battle of the DJs, and there's some fun stuff going on at the supporter section, at least in the tailgate areas. So the food is going to be on a whole nother level as well. Yeah, tailgate's going to be epic this time around. So go early. Have a good time. Have a really good time. Yes, Bam.
Just doing some quick research because obviously you've got these international games coming up. We know Messi will be leaving to go join Argentina after this game. I just seen that Bouanga caught up for Gabon again to play.
There we go.
Mauritius on September 9th.
Good for him. He's earned it.
And former LSU player Sifu got caught up for Latry again.
Well, who did?
Sifu.
Good for him too. Again, alumni. It's fine.
Yeah. And that being said too, I'm going to shout it out this weekend. If you're not, I think it's before the LAFC game, Sifu could be playing in one of the biggest games of his career, Rangers versus Celtic.
Whoa! Wow! That's a quick jump in.
Yeah. So that'll be early Sunday morning for you guys. So just a heads up, if you do wake up early and you want to watch a game, I highly recommend go supporting a former LAFC player, and if he does start and if he does get a game against Celtic.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, it's worth watching. That's for sure. Good stuff. All right. Continuing with the community vibe, I guess it's time for the LAFC 2 update. Not so great news except for individuals, I guess you could say. On Friday, they lost to the Real Monarchs 1-0. Held 64% of possession, all for naught, as they allowed a goal in the 89th minute. Collectively, not so great. Individually, is looking pretty good for certain players. That's what we're seeing right now. But that's development. That's life. I know. Going into it, of course, they have another game tomorrow. So this will be as of Friday at 6 p.m. on Apple TV. They travel to Austin, who's still trying to knock the door and get into the playoffs. So we do have a chance to be a bit of a spoiler and prevent them from another week for qualifying. Might as well have fun with that. Also, good news for the individual players, like I said. Christian Torres and Leonardo Flores got called up to the U20s for Mexico. So congratulations to them for getting that opportunity. The future, again, is bright for these guys. The present is bright. Anytime you get called up, it's a massive honor. So good on them making it happen. Anything else to add, LAC2 guys? We good? Let's move it on. Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. I know usually we play songs that are like, that's super cool, that's super entertaining, that's awesome, I can hype me up. I decided to have fun with the Circus for this week. And so for this one, I am sure what it's called, but everybody knows the Circus song, right? Like, you could do it, you could hum it if you want, but everybody knows the sound. But do you know the name of it? Well, you will today. So we chose that as a song of the day. It's called Entrance of the Gladiators by Julius Ernest Wilhelm Fusich. Song came out in 1897. It's been around a while, guys, but then got a bit of an update so it could be played on organs in 1901, and they rebranded it to Thunder and Blazes for the circus. That's why. So that's the sound you're used to, but it was classical music and a march before then. I know. And that would be the update was by Louis Philippe Laurando of Canada. So that is your song. We went with the circus theme. I think that's fine for this because the madness, and now it's all stuck in your head. Thank me for that later. But yeah, Enter the Gladiators or Thunder and Blazes. Have fun with that, guys. Good? Yes? Fine? All right, let's do this. We know why y'all want to get into this mix. You want to talk about it? We're here to talk about it. LAFC versus Inter Messi, or I should say Inter Miami. They're here, guys. It's real. They're traveling this way before some escape off to play for Argentina or elsewhere, but they got to play this one, their biggest test yet outside of, winning Leagues Cup. Yeah, it is on. Now, what's going on with this team? Where are they at right now? We know they had an abysmal year in the lead up to this. League-wise, it's still abysmal, right? All these wins were done in a tournament. They weren't done in league play, so they really didn't move the needle in terms of their playoff hopes because they were playing in a tournament, just like all of us. They had a chance last night to do something, and they didn't. They ended up getting a 0-0 draw. So, yeah, things weren't as perfect as they thought they would be, and they didn't roll quite the way they thought they would be. But it's Nashville, and Nashville knows how to play these guys because, well, they had to deal with them beforehand and tied them. What a shock. So, looking into it right now, standings-wise, of course, we're fighting to get first place. We're 7 points back with a game in hand, chasing St. Louis. Inter Miami, on the other hand, is fighting to avoid the I guess the spoon, but also try to march their way back in the playoffs. They're 14 out of 15 in the East. Got a long way to go. Only 22 points right now for the season. It's not anywhere close. They've got a lot of work to do and a lot of faces to get past. Just to throw it out there, because I was playing magic numbers because that's what I do. So they're 7 losses away from total elimination. Now that is a combined. So this is where it's tough for them. They're a 98% chance of finishing 10th. All bad, right? So a combined magic number of 7. What does that mean? Either they lose 7 or teams they're chasing for the last playoff spot get a combination of their loss and their win. Do you see the problem here? And they have to get past the playoff line right now. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams ahead of them. Can you only imagine? Okay, so they're in a very bad place. Chances are they aren't going to get there, but it's there. That's where they're at now. The things look promising for them in terms of performance. Like maybe they could make a bit of a run. Definitely. And I'll throw this over to Tony. How they're in the last 5 games, sir?
Last 5 games, they've won everything but Nashville. This is the best way to say it. They, of course, beat Philadelphia Union 1-4. They tied Nashville 1-1, but ended up winning in penalty kicks. And of course, that made them win the Leagues Cup and automatically into Champions League. Champions Cup. Sorry, I forgot they changed the name. And then went into U.S. Open Cup, beating Cincinnati in penalty kicks after a 3-3 draw. And then ended up beating New York Red Bulls 2-0. And, of course, tying Nashville 0-0. So if you want the playbook of how to kind of suppress Miami a little bit, look at the Nashville games.
But here's the other fun part. Of those 4 wins, all of them were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, they're on the road. And if you go before that, the win against Cruz Azul, of course, that was at home. But, dude, they've got 4 out of 5, and they're all home games. The only game that they didn't get a result and they drew at home versus Nashville. So, I guess they travel well, you could say, now that they have Messi. Things look good. They're scoring goals, 2 or 3 goals at a time in some cases. So things are looking up for them roster-wise, right? Because they got the big star. Joseph Martinez seems to be stepping up. Everyone's stepping up. It's looking good for them right now. They have a lot to be happy about. On our side of it, it's not all doom and gloom. We have 2 setbacks and a bunch of other good play. Again, we've got 3 wins, 2 losses. Who did we take out? Yeah, we had big wins against Juarez and Salt Lake. We blew it against Monterrey. We destroyed Colorado. Could have been more than 4. And then unfortunately lost to turf on the road. So that's our case. But when we're playing at home, our real home, not the fake one in Pasadena, we're getting the wins that we need to get. So I would say bright spot. We're doing good when we play in our house. You've got to take it for that. Now, players who are available, that's another story. Bam, who's available for this one?
All the usual names that are available. They're only missing 4 people who have been out for a while. You got Quentin Jean out with an ACL, Franco Negri out with an ACL, Ian Frey out with an ACL, and Gregor, who's out with a Lis Frank fracture. Now, that's a brutal fracture. If you don't know what that is, that's a little bone inside your foot. You break that, half your toes get dislocated. And it's very common in soccer. That one little bone in your foot dislocates half your toes. So that's a brutal one. So for him, I do feel sorry for him because it is quite brutal.
That means they have to basically go in and put everything back in place and then heal that one spot.
Yep.
Or else it all falls apart again.
Yep.
Modern medicine, man. Prayers to him, dude. That's tough. That's tough. Of course, on our side, there's only one name that I see that could potentially miss the game still. Is that correct?
Going for what I found is obviously Roselle's out, Palacio's still out with personal reasons, and Murillo is questionable, but I expect him to be back.
Yeah, he'll be ready. The big story, of course, was Palacios not able to come back yet. Again, it must be serious, and we'll treat it as such and respect his privacy. We do miss him out there. He'd be a big part of this. I think he'd have a good time with this match. But again, he needs to be in the right place and doing what's important for him. And so that's where we're at, and we respect that. And again, we welcome him back with open arms when he's ready. So yeah, man, tough to lose him for this match. If he's not ready to go, then that's really tough. Now, looking at players to watch, I just kind of laugh at this, Bam, and I'll throw it to you because it's kind of obvious, right? Uh-oh, you got muted.
For me, I think that one of the big ones we've got to watch has to be, let's have a look. Noah Allen. Didn't play last game, but got to keep an eye on him.
The kid, right? The kid. No, honestly, though, everybody around Messi looks better. They just do. There's this level of confidence. The funny part about this, and we'll name the names as we talk about the lineup. Your guess is as good as mine as to what they're going to field in this game. Quite literally. Tata got all kinds of hell for Mexico of always switching the lineup to match his opponent. Guess what, guys? He does it in MLS too. He's Mr. Pragmatist. So, last 3 games, 3 different formations, 3 different approaches. It was all designed to match who they're going to play. And you're like, really? And of course, if Messi's available or not, also decided what he went with. So the last game, the 0-0, 4-3-3. Right. So they had Calendar in goal. You had Miller and Aviles as your center backs, Yedlin and Alba as your outside backs. Of course, they would be there. Gomez and Arroyo, outside midfielders, sometimes set back midfielders. Busquets in the middle, controlling tempo, delivering some amazing passes like always. With Messi as your right wing, Martinez as your target man, and Taylor on the left. To me, Taylor has been a story here. Young kid doing what young kids do better than you'd expect because, dude, look who's around him. And, of course, Martinez enjoying a bit of a comeback, you could say, thanks to the roster and his happiness because, Joseph in his happiness has to have it. So there you go. Now, we go to the game before that, of course. Messi wasn't available to start. So they took a very defensive approach until he was ready to go, and they went 5 deep in the back. Yeah, all right. So Calendar was back in goal. Allen, Miller, and Aviles were your three center backs. Taylor and Alba were your guys that were opened up in the back. Arroyo, Ruiz controlling midfielders, Gomez and Farias as outside midfielders, and Campana as your target man. Of course, that all changed when Messi went into the game, Robinson went into the game, Kramashi went into the game, Busquets went into the game, and all of a sudden you saw a shift, right? And Yedlin as well, and all of a sudden you saw that offensive setup come back into the mix. Now, there is one other way they could approach this game. The 3-3 draw and penalty victory against FC Cincinnati, the number 1 team in the league right now, went with a defensive counterattacking setup. What? Yeah. So, Calendar back in goal. In this case, you had Miller, Christoph, and Aviles as your 3 center backs, Yedlin and Alba as your freewheeling right wing back and left wing back. 3 in the midfield this time with Busquets, Gomez, and Jean Mota, and up top, Campana and Messi together. So a counterattacking 5-3-2, which could easily change to a 3-4-3 as necessary. That's what they did, a breakout in transition, which we've seen doesn't do well for us sometimes. So he has these 3 options. They're going to play us. What I've gathered from this is if they think a team is going to be possession-based or try to beat them in transition, they'll just simply drop the numbers back and wait you out and then catch you on the counters. Which, do you want to deal with Messi on a counterattack with odd numbers where you're not in place? Nobody wants that. So to me, if I'm looking at the lineup, I think the 5-3-2 would be my story. I think that's what he's going to come out with. I don't think a 4-3-3 is going to be the story. They're not going to just match us up man for man in the midfield. They're going to have some support behind those guys, right? Solid support. So if I'm going to bet on this. I think the 5-3-2 makes the most sense. Bam, I look to you. What do you think he's going to do?
I'm going to say he's going to go with this lineup he put out for New York Red Bulls. Messi won't start. Messi won't start. Busquets won't start. The lineup for the game against Red Bulls with a 2-0 win, that's what he's going to go with to begin with. The reason why I say that is Messi played a full 90 against Nashville. Busquets played a full 90 against Nashville. Those players having a short period, I don't see them starting. I think that they're going to go with the same tactics they play against Red Bull and have Messi come on later on.
Ah, interesting. So, and then it will shift into that other setup, potentially even the 4-3-3, right? Because then they're going to get us a little bit on the tired side of things. And then you just see this back and forth madness. Okay. I could see that happening, especially with the rest situation. I do worry that we're not even going to see Messi in this game straight up, but I just don't think, he's going to get minutes. I just don't know if it's in the front half or the back half. All right. Mystery again. If your guess is as good as ours when it comes to Tata and how he's going to approach this thing, of course, they need the 3 points. So there's no way he's going to play reserves against us. We'll see the big names. We should. If it's for more than 10 to 20 minutes, that's a conversation to have. I'm not sure. Are they the insurance piece at the end of this thing? Man, that would be suspenseful for some people, not for us, because we got to get our 3 points, let's be honest. And that's all that really matters here. I know we want to see Messi, but I want to see a win. And we need the win. So what they do is what they do. I know our guys will be prepared no matter who they field out there. I know Martinez has a history against us as well. And so I would not write him off anytime soon. We know what his capabilities are. So should be interesting to see how they're going to line up with us. Now, that being said, we have rest, right? We've got some guys that needed some rest. They got some rest. They didn't have to deal with the turf over the last weekend, so they're ready. So now the question is, what are we going to field in this thing? Tony, I'm going to look to you. Who is your back line? 4 across. Who's going into this thing?
4 across. with someone with if Palacios is available, that is 100%. But again, we do not know his situation at the moment. But middle, Chiellini, long, just they know how to work together, easily shut down. They can fight it out. They can direct what they need to do. Haaland says is an automatic starter, and that's where you draw the line because you don't know if he's going to start on the right or the left. Because if Palacios is not available, he goes to the left, and you start Valencia.
Exactly. I'm with you on that 100%. I don't think there's any question that's going to be it. I don't think Murillo gets to start in this game. I think they're going to go with experience as their center backs, guys who have played at the national team level, that have faced this guy before, that have faced this level of competition before in terms of their offensive production. Experience wins the day. It has to. It's the only chance you got against these guys. So, yeah, I think that's how it's going to be. Bam, are you in the same boat for the back line?
I am, but at the same time, no, I've got a gut feeling Chiellini won't start if Messi doesn't start. Messi comes on, Chiellini comes on. That's
old school.
That's one thing. I'm thinking Chiellini knows Messi. Dollar knows that. If we get a peek of what their starting lineup's going to be and see that Messi's not starting, Chiellini won't start. We'll have the two lineup sheets. And it's like, what do you got? What do you got? Okay, here you go.
I would be surprised, right? Because you need continuity. They're in training, right? You have a game plan, and a change of that seismic difference, I think he just goes for it and he plays the 90. Like, that's the plan. We'll see. We'll see what happens in this game. Again, it's going to be interesting. I like it. It's going to get weird, people. Midfield, of course, is another big, big story because now you do have competition for places. Real competition. And some guys haven't been up to snuff. Others have been shining in limited minutes. Let's be real. So who gets it for this game? I'll go to you, Bam, first. Who are your three midfielders?
Acosta, Ilie, Bogus.
Ooh, okay. Tillman takes the seat. Okay. Tony?
I agree with Bam, but I honestly think it's going to be Acosta, Sanchez, and Tillman.
The big concern, of course, from the faithful is Tillman and Acosta is like kryptonite, They're always worried about that. It always comes up every time. I'm on Bam's front here. Why? Ilie has to play. There's just no question. He has to play. Bogus, let's be real, he's been really shining in midfield. Without question. He's earned his place in there. If the question is Acosta versus Tillman, I go back to experience and physicality in this game that's going to be required, and I'm on the Acosta side for this one. I just am.
I can see the Ilie, Acosta, Tillman if Bogus is a bit tired, but I think going to this game, if you're Bogus, if you're a young player and you get to come up against Messi and you get to stop Messi, because remember, the world's eyes are on this game. You never know which teams are watching this game to see how do these players go up against this person. We know how good this person is. Can they stop him? Can they get around him? So for me, if you're a young player in this team, you get to start. This is your game to shine.
Oh, dude, scouted to the death, right? There you go. There's going to be eyes on this one. I would say this for the midfielders, even the defenders. Messi needs grass stains all over that uniform. I'm just going to put it that way. Take the Nashville route on this. Systematically use yellow cards on this dude. It's going to be critical from that group. Really will. It has to be a physical game. We have to be ready for a physical game. If we play this finesse stuff, you're in trouble. It's got to be a slog. That's for sure. Slog with good counterattacks. We'll say that. Which brings us to the top three. Who are our guys? Who's going to be up top for this thing? I'll go back to Tony on this one. Who is your 3?
Vela, Boanga, and Gonzalez.
Right to it. He's nodding his head for those who are on the podcast, but Bam is nodding his head, agreeing with Tony
100%.
that it's going to be that. Yeah, right.
100%. That's
why do you think so?
For me, Boanga, Vela, they're lock-ins. It's a given. Out of the third person, Gonzalez has proven that he's that person. If we still had Opoku, it'll be Opoku, but now Gonzalez has taken over that spot already.
It's his job, right? I mean, we're paying a lot for him. He finally got a goal, right? He needed that really bad. So now it's just a matter of function and getting a game, getting our 3 points. So I think the nervous side for him is done. I don't see him rushing it yet again like he did before he got that first goal. I think you're going to see a little different approach from him. And we're playing at home, so that helps too. But I'm with you guys. You put in the money, right? Just like they do. You put your best against their best, and you see what happens. It has to be this way. And that makes sense. Now, substitutions and how that's going to play itself out, I think it's pretty straightforward. We know who we're going to see, right? It's the midfield stuff. Krastev has to get minutes. We know this already. Really interesting how it's going to get managed. I could throw it back to Bam. Like, where do you think the subs are looking on this one?
For me, I think it'll be the usual subs. I would like, with everything that's been coming out so far over the last 24 hours, 48 hours, I would like to see a couple of farewell minutes.
Garbage time farewell minutes.
Yeah, for one of my all-time favorite players, Mamadou. I'd like to see him get a couple of farewell minutes there. I don't think we'll see it because going by what's been reading by Tom Bogut is that deal signed, ready to go. He's off to Barcelona.
Yeah, gotta get that physical, right? Got to get cleared. So yeah, he's mentioning Mamadou Fall going to Barcelona. I guess he's going to be our version of Alphonso Davies, right? I mean, could you imagine if he takes off at Barcelona the way Davies did with Bayern? Not only does it put your club on the map, right, like we weren't already, but it looks good for every other player that's developing under our program. You go to that high-profile team, as if Celtic wasn't high-profile, right? I mean, these are now Champions League sides that are picking up LAFC players. It is one heck of a development to see where it's going. So we're not sending guys to Turkey now. We're sending them to Champions League playing sides who have a huge history of winning in the Champions League. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. If this is happening, which all signs point to a yes, good for him. I would like to see him as well, but he hasn't played that much for us anyway. So yeah, definitely when he's running by for warm-ups, because he'll warm up. Just show your love, guys. He's putting a lot of work for us, and he's getting his chance. You got to be proud of him for that. All right, so we've got our lineups. We know what we want to run with. We know what we think they're going to run with. Not really, you know how they are. The mystery is there. Now the question comes to you guys, the supporters. Where are you at on this thing? What do you think is going to come from this? Let's get your reactions. I've got 17 comments from you guys, so share it, people. You're here to join the conversation. Let's bring it. Let's see. We go all the way back to Hinchada de LAFC telling us how it should be. Black out the north end. Listen, that's how it's got to be. Sakayose says, you are head coach of LAFC in front of the team minutes before taking the field on Sunday. What are your final comments to the team? I know what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say, hey, guys, it's a busy schedule. Yeah, we're going to focus on squad rotation today. If I hear that word, I'm throwing things. That's a sin at this point. You're playing Miami. You're playing Messi. It's a playoff.
I know what I'm saying. I'm saying to the team, you know the game plan, you know what to do. Let's go out and do it.
Exactly. the big thing to say again is process, execution, getting the job done. You know what you can do to win games because you have. We've seen the production. So for them, it's just pretty much do your job, right? Like basically trust in yourself against this opponent who is not in a playoff position, who won a one-off tournament with a bunch of penalties. They haven't played super amazing. They have one amazing player. But when we play at our speed, at the pace that we prefer, we're better than them. It's just that simple. If we execute in our rules, we will win this game. That's it. That's what the guys have to know is that day in, day out, they're only a few points out of being the top seed in the West. Well, Messi and company are fighting not to hold a wooden spoon. Real talk. Okay? And we're at home. That means something, especially for this team in this league. It's special. And they all know that and they fight for that. So that's what he's going to do. Remind them that they're at home. They are the better team. Play like it. Simple. So you want to add into that what you'd throw into it?
I would honestly say play like a normal game. Like I'm that type of person. It's like it doesn't matter championship game or not, or bigger stars or anything. You play like do your normal rituals, your normal day, and just play the normal day. Because at the end of the day, this is yes, I understand Messi's on the team, but it's Inter Miami. This is a regular season game. You have to win points to get first place in the Western Conference. That's it. Treat it as a regular season game and try to get points for the playoffs.
True. At the same time, though, psychologically, they kind of need a win to hang the hat on, right? Because they didn't get one in the Rose Bowl, right? We've had a few losses here that they really could have been like, hey, okay, see, we're ready for this thing, and they haven't got it yet. This would be one of those signs because look, ups and downs of the year, dead honest. If you win the next 2 games, forget about what happened the last 6 months. Seriously, you take the next 2 games and you take out Miami and you take out the Galaxy, and there's only a few games before the playoffs. The conversation is surging LAFC, taking out rivals, taking out stars, and getting ready for it, taking it serious, getting built for the playoffs. That'll be the story. Not what happened in Leagues Cup. That's ancient history. What's next? So do it. That's where we're at. That's where the mindset's going to be. That's what they're going to want to do, right? Focus forward. Soccer USA says, if you were to have just one surprise change to the starting lineup on Sunday, who are you giving the opportunity to and why? Surprise entries, maybe a cross dev moment. Maybe him breaking in, but I don't want to have a surprise, honestly. I don't. I like what I see. I mean, Bogu starting over Tillman, is that a surprise? I don't think it is. Right, Bam?
No, I agree with that. A surprise for me that I would happily take is Ted Uncle getting sick before the game and not refereeing.
Well, you can't have a circus without a clown. I told you I was going to say it. I said it. He gets to play the role of the clown. The music is perfect yet again. You're like, you bum. Soccer USA also says, who's broadcasting the game? It's Apple TV Plus. No special features. You got to have the plan. Soccer USA also says, current state of team, what's more concerning at this moment, our offense or our defense? Neither. It's our midfield. What? Yeah. We're failing in transition and we're getting overwhelmed in midfield. There's a problem there defensively, not offensively, defensively. We're not transitioning back properly. We're getting caught on counters. That's what's bothering me more. Ricardo Andaluz. Hey, Ricardo's in the mix. He says game time is 7, I think. Okay. Well, we should be there early, right? Get there early.
Yeah, it's slated for 7, but with Apple, they're probably pre-show all the other stuff, so probably looking more close to like 7:10, 7:15 kickoff.
Yeah, he'll be set. It's listed 7, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, it's a whole
Uh,
build up and all that
mhm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Ricardo, for bringing that up. It is 7 o'clock for sure. Get there early though, man. If you're trying to get there at the last second, you're not getting in. People could miss the first half in this game. I'll be dead honest with you, especially with the standing room tickets being sold. Long lines getting in the stadium. Yes,
We'll say, because we know what cell service can be like around that time. Download your tickets early.
yeah.
So
Good
that
thinking
way
on
you're
that.
not stuck outside going, "Where's my ticket?" Download your ticket early. Get all that situated, especially before you drink too much too.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Carlos C throughout. I'm not loving Dolo's sit and counter game plans. We concede too much possession. I'm okay with it if they're overselling it. Do you want to really get in a foot race with a bunch of over 30 players? We'd win that battle in the long term. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on how they approach the game. If they're overselling it, we will catch them. I expect them to, depending on how it goes. The counter is going to win the day. Transition is going to win the day. Carlos C, not loving Dolos. Okay, he threw that. Let's see. Soccer USA, would you agree pressure is on Dolo and coaching staff to get a result? I think pressure has to be there. I mean, they won MLS Cup. So they kind of have this year to get back to it. That's the focus now because the other competitions didn't happen. But pressure should always be there. How could it not? Right? They got to get a result. I'm with it. Like, I know how they'll treat it if we don't. But let's be honest. They want something again to build on, and this is a great chance. These next 2 games, again, you get both of those wins. It's a huge building block to get us to where we want to be. Q Cardi, can't wait to shut up those Messiah 305s down and take them out of playoff contention. I mean, we really do have the chance to take out 2 teams out of playoff contention over the next 2 weeks, or at least really dent their opportunity to get back in. So let's be that guy. Let's be that team. Michael in the mix. Good seeing you, Michael, at the Bayern watch party, man. That was a lot of fun, dude. Got to hang out with Michael and a few others. See you, defenders. At the watch party, it was fun. He says, "Let's go." Black and Gold SG. He's got the Luckies out there as well, and of course, Blackout's the message. Thank you, Michael, for throwing that out there. Soccer USA, so if you're a Miami coach, minutes before a team takes the field against LSC, what are your final comments to the team?
Run.
I think for him, get the ball to Messi. I mean, what else? That's what they've been doing. Martinez, pay attention. Are you happy today? That's pretty much the vibe. Check out the dignitaries. Yeah. Ox is in the mix. Mike says, honestly, it doesn't matter to me if Messi plays. I'll always be there in the 32-52 with Zachar and Tony. Fortunately, I got to see the real GOAT play live against LA Aztecs in 77. Pele. Yeah, he did. The original GOAT. Aztec days, baby. They don't compare to now. I got to be honest, Michael. I'll say this. That was a spectacle back then. I was a little kid, I know. But today, it's, how many teams in this league? How many are functional? It's a beautiful world that those years built on to get to where we are today. That's for sure. Those weren't squandered. We are living in rare times, and it is right back to the Pele years. Like this has a chance to be even bigger. So might as well enjoy the hype game, because I don't remember Aztec tickets going for hundreds of dollars. I don't remember that, but again, too young. Probably, right? Soccer USA says, my game plan, target Yedlin's lack of discipline, draw some fouls on him early, then bring in explosive Kike to go right at him. Also jealous of Michael, not Mike, for seeing Pele play. Generational stuff. Michael's seen some amazing things. That is for certain. He's, again, a world traveler as well. So if you ever run into Michael at the tailgate, have a conversation with him, dude. He's awesome. I love having conversations with Michael. He knows that. Good guy all the way around. So go talk to him. Let's see. I would say with the Yedlin situation, honestly, they will go at him because who does he have to mark? Who's on his side? He's in trouble. I mean, it's Bawanga, right? You deal with that. He's gonna get a card, and we could pin him back. And if we do pin him back, they're in trouble. He needs freedom. If he doesn't have freedom, they're in trouble. Nestor S says, update on players possibly leaving. Please read at Costa and Fall are being looked at. Of course they are, but there's less than a few days for the window to close in Europe. Remember, Acosta's dream is to play in Europe. It was, and then Colorado shifted him off to us. That can't just be gone now. We'll see. And then yes, Palacios too. That would be agreed. We thought we were losing him last year. Jesse Cortez with the Vamos black and goal. Gerardo Rios says, got to show Miami's only room for 110 in LA. That's right. And he also mentions the turnovers and not tracking back fast enough. That's the transition issue, right? Gerardo Rios is worried that it's the Palacios story. If Palacios doesn't start, we're in trouble. Maybe. Oh no, Tony. Shall I even put this on? Yes, Lola, we will put your comment on because it's pretty funny. Lola S says, is Magic Tony gonna make an appearance in this game? Bro, the whole world will be watching you and your coffee and your moment in the capo stand. The world will be watching. Royalty may be watching. Dignitaries will be watching. Celebrity Row is going to be insane, and they better not be wearing pink either, or I'm going to have an issue. Have fun with that one. Tony, you have a great audience, but you have a great opportunity as well. Speak, sir.
Multiple goals is the only reason I do it. So unless there's multiple goals, then it happens. I don't know. We'll see.
You need the beer showers. Beer showers required. Gotcha. I'm with you on it. Not taking off my shirt, but I'm with you. Let's see. Soccer USA, thanks for the responses. Sorry, so many comments. Appreciate your time. If they score one, we score two. If they score two. That is the plan of LAFC. Never give up. We must win. Vamos. You know what, dude? Thank you, Soccer USA, for actually coming out here and spending your night with us. And providing us with some awesome questions, because honestly, we like answering them. It's fun to answer the questions. It's fun to hear from you guys. That's why we do it. This is kind of the lifeblood of Heart of LAFC. Is you. You are the lifeblood. It's the faithful. It's the only reason we get to do this thing. It's you guys. We can be here talking to nobody. Nah, we need you guys around. That's critical. So thank you for participating. Gerardo Rios also says Pistolero gets a brace this match. I can hope and pray. David Day says he bit the bullet. I'm afraid to ask you how much you paid. He bought a ticket to the Messi game. We'll see you there, man. Go to the tailgate early, dude. Say hi. I'll be there early too. And red pepper from Mikhail Hradek. I don't know what's going on there. Spicy. Are you saying Tony's spicy? Tony's gonna be dude. He's gonna be breathing fire this game. Okay. The whole capo stand, right? All of them are going to be spicy this game. North End better be spicy. I get it. Tony, you're okay, man. We love you.
Now, that being said, though, if you want to see Magic Tony, make sure you don't wear pink. You wear pink, you won't see Magic Tony.
I was going to say, what are you going to say right now?
There's Magic Tony and there's Punxsutawney Phil, right?
Okay.
Some see shadows, some see pink shirts. If you need the magic, you got to wear black. It's a dress code, right?
If you wear pink, you might see Magic Joseph. You don't want to see that.
You don't want to see Magic Joseph. There's no magic in Magic Joseph. No.
Can we see Magic stuff?
I mean, I'll say this. A pink shirt in this game is worse than a thrown Michelada. And those are horrible. It's worse. If you're going to break like the levels of hell that you're in with the North End, yeah, pink shirt's pretty high up for this game. That's all we're asking. Not hard. All right, guys. You did great. Thank you for the comments. Y'all rock. let's get to the end of this thing. I know we've gone pretty long, but we had to because this is an important one for us. We need to get back on track. Final thoughts. I know we're here, guys. I'm going to go with Tony first. You have the floor, my friend. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts is don't wear pink. Wear the colors. Wear the black and gold colors. Simple as that. Get there early. Ask around for your tailgates because it's going to be a really cool one. If you're going to go to FanFest, go to FanFest. If you're going to Fields, go to Fields. Doors open at 4:30. Half off food. Drink responsibly. Do not be that a-hole and be like, I spent so much money and et cetera, to be here. I don't have to do this and yada, yada, because you will be removed. Most likely. I don't know the rules, but most likely that will happen. And of course, be kind to everybody. Make sure everyone's treated with respect and dignity, because at the end of the day, we are all football lovers and we enjoy the beautiful game that is upon us. But this one is going to be very hectic, and make sure the right supporters are in the right section to chant for 90 plus and show Messi what a true supporter section looks like in the MLS.
Sounds fair enough to me. Bam.
Final thoughts for me, same with Tony. Don't wear pink. If you're going to be that guy that says, but I paid this much money, you're going to be that guy that paid that much money and got kicked out. Plain and simple.
Yep.
If you want to burn $1,000, $1,500, do it. But there's so much more money that money could have went through, like the Mo Fascia court and all that kind of stuff. So if you've got money to burn, don't burn it by being a dick. Burn it by giving it to charity. And you get tax break, even better.
That ain't staying golden, that's for sure.
Nah. And again, guys, as I always say, mental health, major thing. Checking on people, checking on friends. If you're giving someone a lift to the game, have a couple of extra black shirts just in case they don't have one. Give them one. Let them enjoy the game. If you're going to just a FanFest tailgate and then go and watch the game somewhere else, be safe. Look, yes, they are Inter Miami fans. For the 90 minutes, we hate them. End of the 90 minutes, say hi to them. Thank them for coming out and enjoy it, because the main thing is football always comes first.
And I'll add in, because he's talking about the supporters from Miami. Those who traveled to Miami, last season, okay? I was one of them. We were treated so well by the Miami faithful, their supporters. And they have really good supporters. They do. Full 90 folks, okay? We had a massive party with those dudes. Took over this place. It was a lot of fun. Positive. I expect that when they come here as well. Treat them that way. Again, you get what you give, and I can tell you the Miami faithful have been amazing to us. So we're going to return the favor. Please follow through on that. Do things the right way. That's for sure. That's the ultimate in staying golden, right? Do it the right way. For my final thoughts, again, be respectful. Be smart about what you do. Corrective action is always better than simply going off. Make the right moves. All right. Give your full for the full 90. Our guys are going to need it for this game. Show them out. Show the world how it's done, because the world will definitely be watching this game. For the rest of you guys going to this game who are not in the supporter section, just like the supporters, you're going to deal with crazy crowds, madness in this one. Go early. Have a good time. Go to the tailgates. Fill this thing up. Make it a proper party in the lead up to this thing, and we'll have a great time out. And that's where I'm going to leave it. And of course, blackout the north end. Can I say that again? Blackout the north end. No pink jerseys. This isn't hard. You can do this. That's staying golden. Right? All right. Final word. Tony, go for it.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Bam.
Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.